everyone, and welcome to another episode of Jurassic World. Oh boy, have we got so much to cover in today's episode. Some highs, some lows, some end of the world sort of catastrophe that could probably happen. But anyway, so first off, we have a size chart. I've actually lowered the brightness of this because it was pure white and it blinded me when I opened it, so I turned it down just for you guys. Yeah, this is a size chart. Now, I don't know if it's leaked. There's rumors that it was leaked, but it seems legit. And if you remember back in the day when Jurassic World came out, when Fallen Kingdom came out, there was always a size chart, and it had like the Indoraptor in it, had Indominus, and of course this one has all of a lot of the dinosaurs that are in the upcoming movie. One of them, strangely enough, is called Villain 1. And that is, of course, the D-Rex. It won't be called the D-Rex. It'll be called Experiment 259 or E458, whatever, Scorpius Rex was, I'm sure, in the movie. Because remember when Indominus Rex was, in the movie for Jurassic World, or it was being sort of teased, it was called the D-Rex itself. But what I thought was interesting about this is you can see how big this thing truly is in comparison to the Spinosaur and the T-Rex. And if you remember, the JP3 Spinosaur was bigger than the T-Rex. So yeah, the Spinosaur has definitely taken a little bit of a knock to its kneecaps to make it a little bit shorter. Oh, I've spelled average wrong. Average. I mean, you could see it in comparison to the T-Rex and the Spinosaur. This thing's huge. The T-Rex wouldn't stand a chance, if I'm gonna be honest. The size of this thing, it's double the size of a T-Rex, probably 3 or 4 times the weight of a T-Rex. Its leg alone, it could just stomp on the T-Rex, push it to the ground, and probably just crush it. So yeah, now our finale that we, assume is going to be the Mosasaur is going to have to team up with the Spinosaurs, maybe the T-Rex, something like that. A bit akin to Jurassic World makes sense. And then we're on to something that I still have not watched. Chaos Theory Season 3. And there is, when they try to tie things in together with the movies and all that jazz, it starts to get a bit lost in the reeds, shall we say. So this was quite entertaining. I found this because Twitter, everyone's, I'm in the Jurassic sphere, and everyone's posting about this. So one of the funny things that came up, of course, I'm not going to take this seriously, but it's just funny. So here we have the shot from Dominion and the shot from Season 3 in Malta, that being the underground market for the dinosaurs. And we see the characters sign out. Sayora Santos, is it? I think it is. And you could see the crates. This is from Dominion and from Chaos Theory. And the thing is, Chaos Theory they try to get as close as they can to getting into or affecting the events of the movies. But of course they can't get there because that would retcon things. And, so they tread this very fine line. However, in doing so, I don't know whether they even thought about this or not, but there was a little bit of a continuity error, and that was the size. So, I mean, I don't know whether they even caught this, the team behind Chaos Theory. But the crates that house the Atrociraptors, as you can see, I've highlighted the weird little protrusion that comes out. There's like 3 of them along the side of the crate. You can see how tall Owen is, and then how tall the raptor handler is. And then Pterodome made this beautiful size comparison chart. Because she's standing up straight, so I don't know how tall she is, man. She's like a 4 foot. Are we talking 4 foot, 5'1", something like that? So I mean, beautiful. When everything becomes kind of nothing is, then you can use it to get the heights of the rest of the Camp Cretaceous crew, which are also very small, probably 3-footers, who knows. But anyway, because if you remember, the Colin Trevorrow, the director for Jurassic World, and I think Dominion, I don't know if he directed, that was J.A. Bayona, I think, who directed Fallen Kingdom, but he was present for it. He did oversee it. He deleted his Twitter account, and on his Twitter account, he answered a lot of questions from fans that confirmed a few theories. One of them was the T-Rex couple at the end of Dominion were supposed to be the buck and doe T-Rex respectively from the Lost World, because we have not seen any link to the Lost World in the World or Jurassic World franchise, so that was a nice nod. However, now that we have the 2 T-Rexes, I think it was Big E.T., Little E.T., and whatever, coming to the Biosyn facility. Now it opens up the question of, Colin Trevorrow has deleted his Twitter account, which confirmed that those were Buck and Doe. And now our closest canon is that it's actually Big E.T. and Little E.T. who are seen at the end of the movie. I don't know. I feel like if someone asked Colin now, he'd be like, yeah. It's just like, whatever makes you happy, mate. And this is the problem when, you had dedicated fans in Jurassic, the community, who made beautiful sites like the Dino Tracker site and tried to thread together the events and make a cohesive narrative. And now you're getting convoluted now. Of course, this isn't confirmed, the Big E.T. Little E.T. theory. It's a theory, but it could be anything now. If you want to reference Colin Trevorrow's tweet about them being Buck and Doe, it doesn't exist anymore. It's lost media, apart from screenshots, like you can see down there. Yeah, and now you've got Chaos Theory, which is bringing Big E.T. and Little E.T. there, so the two T-Rexes could be. So what was once supposed to be canon, the director of the franchise, who had his say on what was canon and what wasn't, has now deleted those tweets. It's anybody's game. And I just think this is, it's what happens when you try to take things too seriously, I think. It just evolves into madness. And a big confirmation that we had yesterday, I think, was that we have the composer for Jurassic World Rebirth confirmed. That being Alexandre Desplattosaurus. I think a great second name there for a composer on the Jurassic franchise, who has done in the past Godzilla. He's done Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. He also did The Shape of Water, I think it was. So he's got a lot of things under his belt, a lot of the soundtracks. And to be fair, I think the original composer for Jurassic World, who I think went on to do Fallen Kingdom and also Dominion, I think it's a nice welcome change. The guy seems to be very passionate. The Jurassic World YouTube posted a little video giving you a little hint of what the soundtrack will, sound like in the movie. And he seemed very passionate. And all power to him. We'll give a welcome to the Jurassic franchise. Hopefully he could do a great job. There was a few motifs I definitely caught from the little video. A lot of Jurassic World, like, ta-da!
At some moments.
And then before that even, I think a couple of days prior to this, because it's been a long time since I've done Jurassic news, we had the Dilophosaurus or something. Jurassic World posted this basketball integration thing, which was very odd, very strange. I think it took a lot of the Jurassic audience a bit off guard, but in that, the spot, there were some new scenes we hadn't seen, which was the paleontologist character going, woohoo! But this is the first time the Jurassic franchise has done basketball integrations with Jurassic. In fact, as you can see here, the Gatorade Raptor versus Raptor, Toronto Raptors, that was, I don't follow basketball too closely, but Industrial Light and Magic made a very, very good basketball scene between a raptor and a basketball player. I don't know. Like I said, I don't follow it. And when you compare that to the most recent ones, I think Fallen Kingdom had an Indoraptor scene with a basketball integration, and also this one, it seems very lackluster. like that Gatorade commercial, they put effort in that, man. There was money, there was budget. With these ones, it's just weirdly green-screened giant man. And also, I don't know about you, but did anyone else capture the weird Scarlett Johansson AI voice going, Gillosaurus?
The Gilgosaurus.
Definitely sounded unnatural and a bit like the AI trailers we've had in the past.
We thought we could control it. The power of creation.
Into the toys, we had giant news when it comes to the John Hammond collection. John Hammond collection being a more articulated and more accurate design, and of course that carries a higher price tag. Released or announced the Spinosaur. And it is what everyone has wanted in the community. They've wanted to see a John Hammond Spinosaurus, and here we go. The head sculpt looks beautiful. There was even a Beyond the Gates sort of showcase for it as well, which was in 720p, which is, we're in 2025 here, 720p? Potato frames! And we got a TV spot, and it showed the Parasaurolophus, our first official look at the Parasaurolophus corpse, which has, they've tried to hide for a long time, but I will show it. So that was a quite nice look. But then also, it came to my attention that there was another shot, I don't know where this came from, of the Para. showing that actually, yes, it was the Dilophosaur that's screeching at her. I don't know whether it's before or after she inflates the raft. It's probably one or two, maybe even multiple Dilophosauruses are eating from the Parasaurolophus corpse, and then the T-Rex is in the bush behind it. And I quickly mocked up a little where you can see the scene coming from. So, and what's interesting is this is, of course, the Biosyn, or at least the Jurassic World Dominion Parasaurolophus, which does beg the question, how did it get here? You know, this is a Biosyn facility, possibly. Maybe this is the transition between InGen and Biosyn. And that's why we're getting, you know, Biosyn-looking dinosaurs, like the Biosyn Dilophosaur there. It's very similar to the one that we see in Jurassic World Dominion. And the Biosyn Parasaurolophus, again, very similar to the one we see in Dominion. So, I mean, there's plenty of theories out there. But I will admit, like, even on this scene here and with the other images, you've got some weird things going on with the clone stamp tool trying to blot out spoilers. But, of course, this was probably taken way before... you know, we got the new TV spot sort of thing that showed her inflating the raft and everything. So probably what they were doing there is just covering up the you know, the inflation of the raft or raft or whatever the other characters over there. But I just thought that was quite interesting. Again, the clone stamp tool strikes again. And our lovely Chris Pugh caught this. I think this was from the company that makes the balloons, Anagram Balloons. Of course, they did the T-Rex, the Spinosaur, and the Raptor balloons that are going to, you know, come out with the movie for parties, your kids' birthdays. You know, it's going to be the whole thing. Kids are going to have birthday cakes with the Spinosaur on and all this jazz. If you look closely at, you know, the statistics there, it says video game installs with a new game arriving in 2026. Yes. So we kind of have confirmation that we will get a Jurassic game or tie-in or Jurassic World game in 2026. And of course, there's only two games that could be. And that is Jurassic Park Survival and Jurassic World Evolution 3. And which one's it going to be? I mean, we have some updates for Jurassic Park Survival, but they do seem very early on in production. However, when it comes to Jurassic World Evolution 3, we have radio silence. And we are, you know, the movie is approaching closer and closer. We saw with Jurassic World Evolution and Jurassic World Evolution 2 that both of those games tied into their respective movies. So, Jurassic World Evolution 2, you had dinosaurs on the mainland, you know, going around trying to capture dinosaurs and what have you. And in Jurassic World Evolution, it was the islands, you know, Nublar, Sorna, Matanceros, all that jazz. So with Evolution 3, who knows? Maybe it's going to have something to do with this new island, Rebirth Island, or what have you. But if I was a guessing man, because I haven't seen anything from Jurassic World Evolution 3, it makes sense that it's probably talking about Jurassic World Evolution 3 2026. But it's not off the cards for it being Jurassic Park Survival, because they seem very early on. They're still having meetings, which can happen during production, but all the meetings don't show too much progress, and they're still capturing animations and stuff. So who knows? Who knows? It could be either, but probably Jurassic World Evolution 3. And wow, okay. Heavy subjects here. This is technically Jurassic related. They posted it. They posted it on their Twitter, and it is the Direwolf. You've probably seen this. It is all over the internet, even in the real world. It's on Time magazines and everything. And that is that a Direwolf has been resurrected from extinction. What is a direwolf? Well, it's like the Game of Thrones thing, isn't it? It's a giant wolf. They weren't actually giant wolves, but that's the pop culture's perspective of a direwolf, is a prehistoric giant wolf that was amazing. No, it wasn't. It was a wolf, just a little bit bigger possibly than a grey wolf and what have you. But this, I mean, you've got Jurassic World's Twitter account reposting this saying, "We see no possible way this could go wrong." No, this isn't a movie. This is real life. I think, you know, Jurassic World, or Jurassic Park, the film, was a cautionary tale of humanity's genetic modifications with science and the world, and how that could have ramifications in real life. But we are entering a new age, a new dark age of technology, it feels. So, what is this? What is the direwolf? Because I want to talk a little bit about it. Well, Colossal Engineering has created it, and basically what they've done is they've managed to extract some DNA from a fossil. I think it was a tooth. And then they looked at the grey wolf, the direwolf's closest living relative, that being the grey wolf. And they've done a Jurassic Park. Basically, they took the base genome of a grey wolf and changed 4 of the genes of it. So this is not a direwolf. This is a grey wolf that has been genetically modified to look a bit like a direwolf, possibly, but not really. So it's basically 99.9999% grey wolf. That's basically it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's not a direwolf, but the sensational titles and articles saying that it's a direwolf, this first direwolf call you've ever heard, it's so cute, can you pet that dog? All the memes, it's basically just trying to, and the way they've acted on Twitter as well is very immature, but this does remind me of the Chinosaurus. Do you remember? This is going back almost 10 years, if not more. Jack Horner, the paleontologist who oversaw Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 3, and I think even Jurassic World, started reverse engineering a chicken and trying to turn it into a dinosaur.
Birds are living dinosaurs. We actually classify them as dinosaurs. We now call them non-avian dinosaurs and avian dinosaurs.
So with, and this was called the Chinosaurus Project, which was funded by George Lucas of all people, and he would take it to the embryo stages and try to turn on genes that would make teeth, would make a tail, would make, claws, all this jazz to make the chicken, a dinosaur, because a chicken is a long lost, basically, of some sort of avian dinosaur. Its genes are still in there, they are just never turned on.
In embryo, as the animal is developing, it actually has a relatively long tail, but a gene turns on and resorbs the tail, gets rid of it. So that's the other gene we're looking for. We want to stop that tail from resorbing.
But he never made it. Or according to him, he never made it.
You have these hatched out somewhere. We don't hatch them. We grow them as a little tiny embryo. As soon as we see that it has or does not have what we want, we terminate it.
But for the record, he never made it, because once you make a new dinosaur, a new creature, a new animal, who owns it? Is it, we're stumbling into Jurassic Park territories. The novel, they made miniature elephants. There was a miniature elephant they made, and it fed it on its own food, because if it didn't eat the corporation branded food, it would die. That sort of thing. And we now are entering that space with this direwolf. So everybody's plastered this all over. And I was made aware of colossal biosciences when I was researching on Forrest Galante. Because of course Forrest Galante, the guy who is trying his best to track down a thylacine, a Tasmanian tiger, wants to have that resurrected. That's his golden goose, is to be the man that finds it or resurrects it, or in some sort of capacity, whether it's ethically sound or whatever. It's views, it's clickbait. We've seen it in the past. I don't want to go into that. But basically, he's gone on record and on his podcast saying that this is a direwolf.
For the first time in history, an extinct animal has been bioengineered to be brought back. Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi are the 3 direwolves that for the first time in 10,000 years are once again roaming the earth.
Wrong.
You can say it all you want, but it's not true. But by saying it, it gets the clicks and views. And in that podcast, you can find various clips of Ben Lamb basically saying that it's sensationalism, they need to do it, sort of thing. And it's just weird. I am nowhere near qualified to talk about genetics or biosciences in any sort of capacity, but I feel as though if they can say all of this, that this is a real direwolf, I can categorically say that it's not. It is a genetically modified animal that it doesn't exist. It never existed. That's like saying, you know, taking a cat and adding tiger genes to it and making a new, it's like a tiger, but it's small version. That's what you've made. This isn't an existing species or an extinct species. This is a new species entirely with a gray wolf with a few genetic modifications. But then if this is able to breed and take it going forward, these genes, you're setting dangerous precedents. If you're able to single out specific cells and genes where we're talking scary applications of this, you're talking about bioweapons that could specifically target people or an ethnic minority of people that have a certain genome. You know, yes, there's good applications of it. Possibly, you know, we could stop diseases, cancers, all this. That's great. But what makes money? What are governments going to do with this? What are companies going to do with this? And we've seen this in movies, in shows. Look at Resident Evil series, the Umbrella Corporation, Jurassic Park, for instance. And again, just a quote, Alan Grant from Jurassic Park 3, some of the worst things imaginable have been done with the best intentions. And I just hear echoes of Warhammer, the dark age of technology, Terminator, AI, all this stuff. We're on the precipice of unable to go back. And we are bringing back, like the direwolf and all this stuff. We have species that are alive now that need our protection. And this integration could very well help them. But it's terrifying. It's terrifying, its applications. And I just feel like, you know, with Jurassic Park, we need to talk about it. And if anyone, I think I would suggest Hank's channel. But he goes over, he's way more qualified than me. And there are other people out there who are scientists who have weighed in on this whole discovery, saying that they're not publishing papers, all this jazz. But for a layman's guy like me, who wants it broken down in easy digestible chunks, I think his content does a brilliant job of treading that fine line between boring and incredibly interesting and entertaining. So I highly suggest checking them out. I put a link in the description down below if you want to find the videos in the channel as well. And that about wraps up Jurassic News. Wow, we are so close, I feel, to a trailer coming, or a second trailer, which will showcase more, I feel. We've got games that, you know, we're just slowly getting closer to the release of Jurassic, and I feel like we're not getting too much. It's all going to happen at the same time. That's how these things always go. But yes, let me know your thoughts. We've talked about a lot here, especially the direwolf situation, because it's Jurassic. That's what this is. And have we not heeded the warnings enough? Is Ian Malcolm not had his voice heard? No, of course not. We need our own Jurassic Park. We need to see dinosaurs. Who cares about what the other applications of those sciences could be for humanity? Yeah, let's just ignore that and hope that we get a Jurassic Park. Anyway, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, leave a like, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Oh, bye-bye.